Hey guys, we're back with another episode, Indie Talks. And of course, we always coming through with the best of the best and talent on talent. So today I have no other than Fayzone himself.
She knows she bad. ASS, go shake that ass. BAG, go get that bag. She a PUIT that don't need no man. BAD, she knows she bad. ASS, go shake that ass. BAG, go get that.
Pop, R&B, singer, songwriter, you name it. You in the building. What's going on?
What's up? Happy to be
Nothing.
here. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. I'm super excited to have this one-to-one with you. The music is amazing, as I was saying to you and giving you your flowers before we actually got started. And just to have this conversation, let's get to it.
All right.
First of all, let's talk about, you growing up, because originally you're from Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
All right. So kind of talk about being from Vegas and how in that area it shaped you as an artist and understanding that city's energy. Because, a lot of times people, when you think of Vegas, you just think about the casinos, you think about place to
Mhm.
play and, just the shows and all that stuff, right? So how did
Mhm.
that shape you in becoming the artist and the creative that you are?
I mean, I feel like Vegas is so like diverse that it like introduces me to like a lot of different things, like a lot of different like cultures and different like perspectives and different people. So just taking all that in is like I don't know, it's like a big inspiration because yeah, there's a lot of different like cultures and different like people and I take all that in and like see where I could apply it to like my artistry and like just being especially in like the creative scene in Vegas. I like I've met a lot of like different people and I've been shown a lot of different things and it's just a great place to like learn and I don't know, it's a great place to learn and
To really take in like the melting pot of it all,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's the one thing about it is just that you're able to meet different people from different backgrounds and kind of bring your creative, I guess, differences and similarities together in a sense, right?
Yeah.
I love that. When was that? Do you remember or recall like your pivotal moment for yourself when you just felt like, you know what, music is something I'm just gonna take serious and really
Mhm.
pursue it as a career?
I was in high school when I decided. I was always in choir and I was always singing. Like people would always like tell me, "Oh, you're a good singer," and everything like that. But I didn't really start taking it serious till like my brother like encouraged me to join like a singing competition, and I ended up winning in like the junior division. I was 17 at the time, and that's when I decided like, okay, like maybe this is something that I should take serious. And since then, like I started writing my own music, and it just went from there.
Okay. So you're writing your own music. Who are some of the artists that inspired you to really say like, you know what, I am trying to accomplish, and really grow in this now that I know that this is what I want to do.
Mhm. I would say for sure, like Michael Jackson is one of them. I feel like he's like the blueprint to today. Like, I feel like he's, the best to ever do it. Justin Timberlake is one of my big inspirations, just musically and like his journey as an artist, starting from like NSYNC to like his solo. Usher is a big inspiration. Like, I love Usher's music. Um, yeah, those are like big three for me, for sure,
Okay,
that
you
like
got the
inspire
big
me.
three. Of course, Michael, MJ, Usher, and Justin Timberlake. Now, one thing I like about all of those artists you named, they were all triple threats, right?
Oh yeah,
Now, are you in the bag with your triple threats? You
I'm
singing, you
trying to be.
dancing?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying to be.
All right, got you, got you. We looking forward to that. Let's go into because I know you talk about, in the sense of your beginnings, right?
Hmm.
Kind of walk us through like those first steps and how you were able to, because I know you said your brother kind of
Hmm.
brought it a little bit more to the forefront for you. Kind of talk about what process you had to go through to kind of get yourself prepared to say, you know what, I got to walk in this with confidence as an artist and really give my all into this.
Hmm. Um, well, honestly, like a big part of that was the talks with my brother. He was the main one to like push me, and like he was like the first one to really like believe in me, and just having those conversations really built my confidence, and like having him just like kind of throwing me in the fire, like, oh, write a song, writing that song, and going back to him and allowing him to like listen to it, and him giving me critiques. It was really like it was really like him to really help me like get there and build that confidence to like, oh, I could do
Feel
this,
that, huh?
yeah, and I could do this at like a high level too. Because he
Okay.
he he was he's always been real. Like he's never like sugarcoated anything with me. So that's something that I appreciate
I love that because you got to have real ones around you, right?
for sure.
In the sense of just, guiding you. You don't always want like that yes person or just agree with you or just be like, oh yeah, yeah, in the sense of everything. But someone who can really also just be transparent with you in the sense of everything because being an artist is very difficult, and then as a creative and as an artist you're hard on yourself because
Hmm.
you critique yourself so to the point of you want perfection, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then sometimes where it's just like sometimes it's good to have that person there to be like, listen, you good right here, like this is good, or maybe you could take this a little further, but amazing. Before we get into the music, because I'm excited, you have a new single
Hmm.
that's out and you just dropped the video to it, so we're gonna get all into those juicy details. Let's kind of talk about your sound and your
Hmm.
style, right? You very much so blend, and a lot of times when I was sitting and listening to your music, it gives me a lot of nostalgia, right? It gives me, old R&B, early 2000s and things like that. When I think about, Mario and, we think about the earlier hits and things
Hmm.
like that. So talk about the mixing of, old R&B or class. I'm not going to say old R&B. Let's fix that. Classic R&B and
Right.
pop and being able to find that right balance in order to give that nostalgic feeling.
Oh, well, honestly, I feel like it's not really something that I think about. It's just something that comes naturally growing up listening to that type of music. It's like I have a love for singing pop music, but I have like a love for listening to R&B, and I feel like that's where like that mixture comes in because like I have like an ear for both. And yeah, especially growing up in like the early 2000s, like that's something that like I still listen to this day, and I feel like that was like one of the peak moments in music, at least in my life, and something that means to me. But yeah, it's it's not something that like I try to do, but
Mhm.
it's just who I am.
Like it's a part of you. Like you
Yeah.
breathe it and it comes
Yeah.
out. Right? Um, so how do you keep yourself grounded without falling into like this whole trend train, just kind of following the movement and what may sounds good for the moment? How do you stay authentic?
Um, definitely hmm, I would say that is something like with my brother as well. Because my brother, he's been with me like throughout this whole journey of me doing music, but he reminds me whenever like I do start to drift off, he reminds me of like, okay, what did you start this for? What are you doing this for? What did you start it for? And just reminding me like why, and like not letting me forget like where I wanted to be when I started this, and not letting me like derive from that vision. Um and especially just keeping like, you know, close ones around me to like remind me like who I am and not like stray away from that, not stray away from like how I was raised, not stray away from like being unauthentic. And I feel like my music has to always be like who I am and not really influenced by, trends or, outside influences like that.
And when your fans and when you have new audiences listen to your music, what is the one thing that you want your audience to take away from hearing what you're providing?
Um, I want them to take away like an actual like feeling and emotion. Like I feel like music is an emotion and I feel like music provokes emotion. I feel like I want them to really like resonate with my songs, no matter if it's like just one or two. Like I want to make something for everybody. And I
Mhm.
want them to be able to like take that if it's helping them in a situation that they're currently going in, or it's just like something to even just make them happy in the moment. Like that's just I want my music to spark emotion with, who's ever listening to it.
Love that. And you pinpoint one thing about emotion, right? Let's kind of
Hmm.
talk about like vulnerability, right? Because you in a lot of your songs, you have these themes of love, heartbreak, obviously, and learning lessons, right?
Right.
Um, kind of talk about how you're able to tap into that space to be vulnerable. Because I think that's a lot for our artists because sometimes even as an artist and a creative, we're trying to protect what's private. We're trying to yet we're still trying to be authentic like you said, right?
Right.
And still show a part of us without giving all of us. So how do you tap
Hmm.
into vulnerability?
Well, I feel like with making music, that's the easiest way for me to tap into it. I'm not really like the type of person to like talk about my feelings or, talk about like a situation that I'm in, but music is definitely like my outlet of getting all of that out. And just with my love for that and my love for just wanting to share it, I feel like it's very easy for me. It's like music and putting it out is like my therapy. It's like talking my problems out and sharing it with someone else and getting that feedback uh back to me. Um so yeah, I would say it's pretty easy for me because it's like the only way that I could really get it out.
And when you're navigating being emotionally honest in your music, and also of course I have to say it while trying to protect yourself,
Right.
because the industry is a lot sometimes, right? It can be good,
Mm-hmm.
it can be bad, it can have a whole mix, right? um Kind of talk about how you navigate in trying to be able to build relationships with other industry professionals while trying to still just really protect your peace.
Well, I mean, the first thing is I like surrounding myself with people who are gonna push me, who I, look up to, who are in the industry. And yeah, I definitely like surrounding myself with people I feel like may be at a higher level and they could like lift me up and teach me things. Um, and just surrounding myself with like genuine people that I actually have like genuine connections with, not really like worried about, really where they can get me or anything like that. Like I like building genuine friendships and going from there and being around those genuine friendships, they're gonna push me. And those are the type of people that I like to surround myself with when it comes to like being in the industry and navigating through that.
Okay. And as you're surrounding yourself with these genuine individuals and things like, what do you say like one of the biggest lessons that you have learned, whether that's good or bad, so far on this journey?
Um, Biggest lesson would probably be patience. Like
Mm,
not everything's gonna go the way like well, and my perspective, not everything is yeah, not everything's going the way like you can expect it or maybe you want it to, but everything has its divine timing and it's all lessons more than anything. If it doesn't work out the way you want it to, you just like take it, digest it, understand the reasons why, and move from it, like learn from it.
Of course. And I love when I hear um, artists really tap into understanding patient and divine timing.
Hmm.
I love every time when I hear that, I always bring up Victoria Monet,
Hmm.
who
Oh
is
yeah.
prime example of delayed but not denied,
Right.
or you know and it's just like long as you keep working and you're being consistent and you know exactly who you're speaking to and where you want to go. I
Hmm.
don't think that you can go wrong, right?
Right,
Because
for sure.
you know your heart and you have faith in you and you believe in you, because it's hard to capture other people trying to you believe me, like, well, bro, like if you don't believe yourself, how am I gonna believe you? So
Right.
I always bring that up, so I love that you said that. um let's get into the music, right? So
Okay.
your latest single, Bad, which also you just dropped your latest visual as well. You have such an amazing uniqueness to yourself and your sound. Like I said, it brings me nostalgia in regards to how the R&B and the pop is infused with you, right? This single, featuring Little Vada and also King. Um, talk about the inspiration behind this track, and where did you see this going and how you were able to kind of like develop this single?
Uh, well, definitely like what inspired this track was uh I would say Justin Timberlake, listening to Justified, like he had like the acoustic guitars and at least with the production. But I wanted it to be that type of like feel, but with like a new age like sound as well, like putting Fayzone into that sound. And that's definitely like what inspired the production. I was like, okay, I want to do something. And I was really like inspired when like like had that idea. And I just wanted to be like a fun song, like something that people could dance to, like not too serious, but something that is just like fun. It's a feel good song. And that's just, what I did, and I love it.
Okay, I love it. And I do love the fact that it does give like that Justin type vibe, the pop and things like that. Gives good energy, like good energy in a sense
Hmm.
of that. Because this single is very confident, it's edgy. Like I said, it brings energy. Um, one thing about the record, what if you had to describe this track in like 3 words, what is the first 3 words that come to your mind?
Um, I would say fun. I would say energetic, and I would say it's like fresh. It's new. It's different.
Mm, okay. And talk about the visual, like how, like, I mean, just, the treatment, everything how everything was able to come together, and you to be able to sign out. Do you have the creative directive feel and hands-on when it comes to when you tapped into that part?
Yeah, I mean, I do have like a lot of I have like a lot of creative control, but I also collaborate a lot with my brother and my director as well. And we just always bounce ideas off of each other. Like someone could come up with like just a main storyline, but then like all three of us would like break it down and like how we're gonna tell the story, what shots we're gonna use, how everything is gonna be seen visually. It's everything that I do is collaborative.
Okay. Now, with this being that you're giving a taste, because this is actually your second single release for this year, correct?
Hmm. Yeah.
And then I know before you had your last album that was in 2021. What are we leading to? Like, what is this opening a door for you to, sonically just to say, you know what, I'm going into this. I'm ready to give a EP, full length album. Where we going?
I would say I'm still in the filling out process. Um, I would say I'm not quite ready yet for an album, but I would say it's getting close. But I'm still learning. I feel like I'm still learning myself, and to be able to give, I need a little bit more time to be able to give like my best album, like what that sounds like. But definitely more singles on the way, and I don't know. Things change. It could lead into an album. You never know.
And also, like I said, you had some features on this single as well.
hmm
Talk about like what each artist, gave that you just was like, oh, we gotta have this on the single. Like,
I feel like they both give like a fun energy to it. I feel like Kane gives a fun like lighthearted dancey energy, and then like Lil Veda, he has like an edgier energy to him. And I feel like those were things that like I needed on this track. I needed and also like they both have like a West Coast like flow and like a vibe to them. And I'm obviously from the West Coast, so that's something that like I love. And I was like, okay, this is different. Like I've never heard this type of flow or this type of cadence on a track like this. And I felt like they were the perfect ones to, bring that together. So I hit them up and they understood the assignment.
okay, listen, all right, now understood the assignment, the whole assignment. Okay. And if in comparison to the latest single that you released, and obviously, like we said, you had a previous other singles from when you started your journey. If you could say that you look back from when you first started to where you are, um,
hmm
what would you say you've grown as an artist or even as a person, whether if that's personally or creatively?
Yeah, I definitely would say I've grown, and I've really grown in the sense of like trusting myself more and trusting, my process and trusting, who I am and that being enough. Not really overthinking with, what I do and how I do it, that just me doing what I want to do is good enough. And I feel like that's the most important part of the journey. And that's where I say I would have like I've grown the most. Yeah.
Okay. And we all know, first and foremost, that it's not easy being a creative or an artist. And the one thing that I'll always talk about as well is mental health. So, because as a art, like I said, it's not easy to be an artist, right? Because you not
Uh-huh.
only have to pour in yourself, you're pouring into this music, you're pouring into
Okay.
others around you, which is your team. I don't know if you have, a family of your own or relationships or
hmm
anything like that. We constantly have to give to others while we still have to pour into ourselves creatively. So how do
Right.
you find balance?
Definitely like finding time to be around my loved ones, because I feel like that's like my safe place. That's something that like I feel like keeps me sane, keeps me, grounded. And just like also just having love for making music. It's not really something that like is, taxing. It's something that I love to do. It's something that like helps me. So it's not, at least like right now, it's not something that is like, I feel is like, um, it's not taking anything away from me right now. It's honestly, it's like helping me with making music, with, putting everything out. And
So it's your
it's,
therapy.
yeah, it's my therapy.
I love that. I love it. Well, first of all, Fayzone, thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you for allowing Genius RS to be able to, basically platform your music, and to be able to see you be able to walk in this with such confidence and orchestrate um the uniqueness to yourself to be able to provide it to your audience. And as you continue to grow and continue to walk your path, what words of wisdom are you able to provide to other artists who are starting out, or maybe who could have hit a roadblock while trying to
Mhm.
figure it out? I get that you're still trying to, tap into certain things and figure it out yourself, but what words of wisdom can you offer those who's just trying to find a way to start?
Um, I would say like, hmm, don't like never forget like where that love came from, because that love not only like inspired you, but that love also uh if you're already started but you're hitting a roadblock, it that love got you to start, your journey. I feel like when people are in the mix and they hit blocks, they forget like, and when they like want to stop, they forget like why they started in the first place, where that love came from. And I feel like that's the biggest thing, is to never forget like your why,
Mm,
and never like lose that love and passion for it, because that's what's gonna, take you far, you know, is that genuine love for what you do.
love that. And if you had to go back to the younger, I know you're still young, but
Hmm.
if you had to go back to the 17-year-old you, when you first was really, really, getting inspired to move into this path, um, is there anything you'll say to yourself?
um
Or would you do anything different?
Honestly, I wouldn't do anything different, because I feel like my journey is my journey for a reason.
Mm,
And looking back at everything that I've been through, like I can't help but appreciate it. Like my journey is my path and it's my story, and that's what makes me unique. Um, but if I were to like tell him anything, I would say that like I'm proud of him for taking that jump, because he not only did it for himself, but he did it for, present day me. And that's something that like I'm thankful for.
I love it. Yes. And before we wrap up, of course. So listen, we got the new single, right? All
Mhm,
right. Now we got the visual. What's next?
mhm.
I know you said, you're gonna be dropping some stuff, doing some stuff through here and there.
Right.
What tell the people what can we expect? What's next?
After this, I definitely have another single with a big feature. I don't want to say yet, but it's a bigger feature.
A little tea, a little
And yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's definitely something special to me too. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever done. So I'm
tea.
excited for it.
Listen, and you already know you're part of the Genius RS family. Definitely, when you have the new music, send it over to us. We got you. Okay.
Got it.
All right, listen. All right, and I love this. So, guys, thank you so much for just tuning in. For those who are watching this, who's going to watch this, it takes so much to be an independent artist, okay? So much, right? So, we got the latest single, Bad Out. Make sure it's on the platform, DSP platforms. Please make sure you're going to not only just stream it, but you are purchasing it, all right? Because listen, we need him to get his coin, all right? Run it up. Listen, I already made my purchase, so
Hey, thank you.
so thank you so much for being with us, Fayzone. We look forward to seeing you continually grow in this industry and make big moves. All right.
Thank you so
She
much.
knows she bad.